Willie D live.
The nick. I hate what Nick?
What you're witnessing here, fam, is an uncivilized mutt. A Mexican dude who is trying to emulate a white dude by the name of Chud the Builder. Watch how this coward responds once he gets pressed for being disrespectful.
Wait, they're saying I pressed you, didn't do shit. Hey man, his damn bro. Or what? Oh, you trying to fight? I'm not trying to fight, but wait, no, you don't have glasses. Shut up, bro. You're in it. Shut up.
That right there, what he's doing right now, fam, is what all these cowards do on the internet. None of them really want to fight. What they're banking on is time and distance. They're banking on time and distance. Time, if you start coming their way, if they get wind that you're coming their way, or that it just takes a certain amount of time for you to get to them. And they're banking on that distance, keeping them safe. They're also banking on the idea that you are too afraid to attack them because you don't want to go to jail. These are straight up cowards who woke up one day and all of a sudden they was the hardest mother on the planet. They ain't never had the girls in school. They ain't never been that dude. They never played sports and was the star athlete. They were never the cool dude. These was cowards, misfits, bums who had no motion until they woke up one day and got on the internet and said, you know what? I'm just gonna take the low-hanging fruit. I really ain't got no other talent but to be disrespectful. And that really ain't a talent because anybody can be disrespectful.
Shut up. Yo, can I get my glasses back? Can I get my glasses back? I don't care about what you're doing, bro. I don't care. I don't. Bro, all right, bro. Chill, bro. Chill. I'm not going to hear that shit. Mama. I'm not going to hear that shit. I'm not going to hear that shit. Mama. It's over.
I ain't got no problem with that, but some of y'all do, so let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about the people who say, well, you know, it's freedom of speech. Anybody that's got a problem with that got a problem with America. It's freedom of speech, just watch what you say. It's freedom of speech until you say the wrong thing to the right person. And next thing you know, ding, ding, fries and shake. Nah, man, it's freedom of speech, but you got to move with respect. You got to have a certain level of decorum when you're moving around in these streets, because that's how you get your head knocked off. See, we understood that growing up before the advent of the internet. We understood that contact come with that mouth. Yeah, you go running that mouth, contact come with that. What we had growing up was the telephone. So people would get fly on the phone. I do this and woo, woo, woo. But usually you could find out where that call was coming from and you can pull up right there to their house. Or the person that's running their mouth might be somebody that you go to school with. Well, you'll see them at school, right? People was less likely to write a check that their ass couldn't cash because they knew that they had to see you. These cowards are banking on time and distance. They're banking on time and distance. The time that it takes you to get to them, by the time you get to them, they're gone. They're at a different location. They're banking on the distance. They're banking on the fact that you might have some trepidation about going at them because you don't want to go to jail. So that's what these are cowards. These are straight up cowards who ain't never been the man. They ain't never been the dude that women wanted, and they ain't never been the dude that dudes wanted to be like. You dig what I'm saying? That's the one common thread that all of these cowards have. They ain't never been that dude, but they found that internet, and it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start attacking dudes who do got credibility. And by that, since the youngsters ain't got no guidance and they don't know what the hell to believe, I can fool them and make them think I'm hard. And I just talk hard. I ain't got to have no record of being hard. I just got to talk hard. And they'll believe it because they're unlearned. They pretty much been raised themselves. So they don't know any better. And that's what they're banking on, exploiting the youth. This coward thought it was sweet. He's going around degrading people he don't even know. He's just being disrespectful for no reason other than clout chasing, other than trying to get some shine. That's it. That's all it's about. Trying to get some shine. That's it. Risking his life. He just found out that Texas ain't Tennessee. So you might be able to get away with that in certain parts of Tennessee because you can't get away with that in Memphis. Certain parts of Memphis, definitely. You're not getting away with nothing like that. But this was, and look, he got touched up in Austin. Now you know what would have happened if he had done that in Dallas or Houston. Oh yeah. He may not have lived to post a story, right? I don't understand the idea. Is money and attention that important? I've never viewed money or attention to be so important that I would risk my life, that I would consciously risk my life for it. Everybody ain't playing. Everybody ain't gonna accept it. Everybody ain't gonna think, ooh, if I smash this fool, I'm going to jail. Everybody not gonna think like that. Everybody is not going to be cool with that disrespect. Here's the cold part about all that disrespect. It always, I mean always, comes to a head. It always comes to a head. It never fails. It always. The cold part about it, the guys who are like that, they think because they've been doing it so long, it ain't gonna happen to them. And it always, I mean 100% of the time, it always happens. Just like pretty much like drug dealers be thinking that they're smarter than all of the millions of drug dealers that came before them, so they ain't gonna go to jail. And what ends up happening? They go to jail or they end up getting killed, right? It always happens. That's, that's the pot of copper at the end of the road. That's what you get. So, salute to the dude who brought that fool his hat. Salute to him, man, because that's how you're supposed to handle uncivilized mutts. I believe dude put his hands on him. That's what made him really take off on him. But it ain't gonna take all of that for some of these other dudes to take off on him. He's lucky that he was able to walk away from that, but he gonna keep on doing it because he ain't got nothing else going on. He don't have he don't have a talent. He don't have a talent. He's not skilled at anything. So this is what uncivilized mutts do. When they're not skilled at anything, they don't have any particular talent, they say, well, I ain't shit and I ain't gonna be shit, so I may as well just roll the dice, man, and try to get me some attention before somebody take my head off. So let me just jump on out here. And they justify when they get the attention, and then they start getting a little money. They justify. I cannot wait till the day comes when it's a straight up green light, where every single time it happened, next thing you know, what happened to that boy? If this fool keep campaigning, eventually he's going to get elected. I remember a girl who used to be very disrespectful. She used to go to places, anywhere she would go, and she would just talk about people loud enough so that they could hear her, right? One time she went to a restaurant, she was standing in line, and this dude was standing in front of her, and she started talking about the dude's clothes right in front of him, like loud enough so that he could hear, and her thing was trying to get laughs, right? Well, she had done that for a while. I think she was about around, it's like late 20s when she did that, right? Dude pulled out that heat and laid her down forever. Yeah, over that disrespect. Sooner or later, keep on waking up. No more talk.